Attorneys cannot claim expert status in any field of law. The name of this program was arbitrarily picked by the host.
Welcome to Ask the Expert with noted radio host Steve Sleeper. Each week, Steve interviews entrepreneurs and professionals and shares their intriguing stories of success and service. Now, here's radio veteran Steve Sleeper.
Our guest today is Seattle criminal defense attorney Roberto Yranela. Everybody deserves a second chance, and Roberto's firm takes advantage of technicalities in the law to get their clients the best possible outcomes so they can get on with their lives. I began the interview by asking attorney Yranela about his firm.
So we're a small boutique law firm defending exclusively DUIs, traffic tickets, and criminal misdemeanor crimes. I've been doing it since 2015. I worked in a private defense law firm for a few years, doing the same thing. And then before that, I had an internship back at the prosecutor's office in Indiana, again, doing the same thing, misdemeanors and traffic tickets. It's something that I'm very passionate about. I feel, misdemeanor law, it's something that touches most people. Any driver can be subject to a DUI, just simply drinking alcohol at a restaurant. I like helping everyday people, solving a mistake or problem that they made.
Roberto, let me ask you this. What should I expect from a good criminal defense lawyer?
You should expect strong communication and diligent representation. I think one major attribute of my practice, at least, is I do my best to keep clients informed and updated about their case. The toughest thing about a criminal case specifically is the client doesn't know what to expect. Most people have never hired an attorney before, let alone been involved on a criminal case, which can affect their lives. What most clients are looking for at the beginning is they just need to know what to expect, what the process looks like, and then what your possible options are from the beginning. And then that pretty much will alleviate most of the stress. But then that leads you to the second most important thing, right? You need to be diligent. On top of knowing what you're doing, diligence is key. We have a lot of deadlines in litigation. Things are due every single day. So you need a diligent attorney that's organized and then can keep track of every stage of your case and actually should be ahead of the ball on it. Being prepared is what makes a difference between bad representation and an outstanding one at that.
What are the cops looking for with DUIs?
The first thing I would say a police officer's looking for is they're looking for a traffic infraction. That could be something like a speeding ticket. Finding a DUI specific act like bad lane travel, weaving inconsistent speeds, or drifting in and out of lanes, that's like a bonus for a DUI officer. Because if they find that DUI specific action that not every driver would be doing, that's extra credit because it goes toward their probable cause or reason to have arrested you for a DUI to begin with. The second thing that the police are looking for, so beyond the traffic stop, is the outward manifestation of alcohol use. So that's anything from the odor of alcohol that could be coming from your breath or the vehicle. They're looking for odd mannerisms such as mood swings, admissions to drinking. They're looking for kind of subjective outward manifestations of somebody that would be driving under the influence.
In Washington, does a person who is suspected of a DUI, do they have to take the roadside exam?
The roadside exam is actually voluntary. And the vast majority of drivers, 99% of the time, unless you've been told or you've had a consultation before for a DUI, think that you just have to comply with everything the officer says, and that's just not true. It's always the opinion of DUI lawyers out here to decline, but politely decline, the voluntary field sobriety tests, because they do nothing but to help justify the police officer's case against you.
Do the cops make procedural mistakes?
They make a lot of mistakes procedurally. Now, most mistakes are small. Even the common defendant or common client, they'll kind of notice the cop making some sort of mistake, but it takes a skilled defense attorney to know which ones matter, and a skilled attorney to be able to point out the ones that are major enough to get pieces of evidence thrown out.
Do you do a lot of plea bargains? How often do you see that?
And actually, most misdemeanors in general do result in plea bargains. It's kind of just the nature of the business, per se. There's a lot of people get charged with DUIs. A lot of people get charged with misdemeanors overall, but there's only a handful of courts out there, and there's only a handful of prosecutors. So they could only take to trial like a fraction of the caseload. So most of these, you can get a deal. It's just a matter of what's a good deal. You got to have a good lawyer for it, because many deals, especially as it relates to DUI, they're not good deals. Like, they're deals that could still lead to a criminal gross misdemeanor conviction, or you might just get convicted of DUI as charged, but with the mandatory minimum penalties. You need to get the right deal that avoids that conviction overall and get it to something else other than a DUI.
Roberto, as we do this interview, we're about 8.5 months into the COVID-19 pandemic. How are you handling it? How are you meeting with clients? How are the courts dealing with it? Talk about that.
We've actually always been a very strong law firm when it comes to remote technologies and solutions to having people to have to just meet us at the office every day. We've got processes in place that just we're already there to begin with that make it easy for us to like sign up a client online or sign up a client via webcam. We have cloud file sharing processes. So, most of our files, you don't even have to have the physical document anymore. We just scan it into the cloud and share it with other attorneys that are working on the case. And so then that allows us to work more efficiently, not rely on the office. I think clients love it too, because, in this line of business, people drive and people get in trouble all over the place, different counties, different cities. So clients, I think, appreciate it that they don't have to drive an hour each way just to see you. I guess it's an indirect answer to your question. I would say technology that we have really helps during the pandemic, and it's one way to set us apart from other law firms that haven't instituted it yet or were new to it.
Our guest today was Seattle criminal defense attorney Roberto Yranela. His phone number is 425-260-9366.
Thanks for listening to Ask the Expert with Steve Sleeper. Join us next time as entrepreneurs and professionals share their intriguing stories of success and service.